You might be wondering about attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, also known as ADHD. ADHD is not an excuse so people can act however they please. It's a disorder characterized as a consistent pattern of inattention and/or hyperactivity/impulse, a neurobehavior to sum it up. In the year -1 billion, ADHD might not have been here, but in the year 1902 it was first mentioned by a British pediatrician named Sir George Still. It was originally called hyperkinetic impulse disorder, but the children were still considered intelligent. Still studied a group of children who were disobedient, emotional, and uninhibited. And no, not like none of these children didn't have a habitat. Uninhibited as expressing one's feelings or thoughts unselfconsciously without restraint. The difference between people with ADHD and people without it is being easily distracted, bored, difficulty focusing, like that one time I tried writing a sequel for Ratatouille, I might have a problem, or being unable to follow directions whether the person makes a conscious decision or not. In 1952, the APA people, or group, or company, issued the first diagnostic and statistical manual of mental disorders, or DSM-MD. Wait, that doesn't sound right. DSSMMD. It's DSM. This listed all the recognizable mental disorders, except ADHD. People think that they did not include it because they didn't have enough evidence at the time. It wasn't until 2021, okay I lied, it wasn't until 1968 when that name, hyperkinetic impulse disorder, would be on this list, DSM, a match made in heaven, or rather a match made in an office in the 60s. There seems to be a lot of symptoms that point to environmental causes, such as eating too much food coloring, smoking while pregnant, and things like toxic lead. Just to be clear, smoking cigarettes, not smoking crack, meth, and also heroin. Researchers say that a combination of genes and environmental factors that determine the likelihood of developing ADHD. Adderall.
Adderall is a drug that is used to treat ADHD, otherwise it would not be here on this list.
Wow. Cut. Way too fast. Too fast. Do it again, but much slower.
I thought that you wanted like the ending of a drug commercial. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm the director. Okay, I make the rules here. All right. Do another take. All right, take 2, everybody. Take 2.
Sorry. Adderall is a drug that is used to treat ADHD. Adderall contains a combination of amphetamine and dextroamphetamine. Dextroamphetamine. Yep, that's what we're saying. Amphetamine and dextroamphetamine are central nervous system stimulants that affect chemicals in the brain and nerves that contribute to hyperactivity and impulse control.
Vyvanse is another impulse control drug for ADHD. Though it's not an amphetamine, your body does change it into an amphetamine. How do these pills work? Little Jimmy might ask. Well, they work because of a stimulant known as amphetamine. I thought these ADHD people had to be put on ice. No, Jimmy. That's not true at all. Here, let me let this neuroscientist dude explain.
People with ADHD tend to have lower levels of dopamine, a key chemical in the brain's reward center. This lack of dopamine means people with ADHD are constantly seeking stimulation. Amphetamines stimulate the release of dopamine and other neurotransmitters in the brain, so those minor distractions don't cause you to lose focus.
Why don't you have like a good effects and like a funny suit like that guy over there? He was cool.
Don't make me put you back in the basement. Your mother still doesn't know you're here.
Behavioral interventions. Researchers have found that for school interventions, positive reinforcement is a good way to keep ADHD kids doing well in school. For example, showing a kid their report card daily and showing what they did well on in a good positive manner is a good kind of system that can really be effective on children, preschool to 12-year-olds. For teenagers, Dr. Barkley says that teens may outgrow ADHD, but develop secondary problems like mood disorder for one. Now let's get one thing clear. In the United States, it's almost 13% of children 4 through 17-year-olds have ADHD according to the CDC located in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Just kidding, just kidding. It's in Mozambique.
So what do I think the primary causes for ADHD are? Well, I think it's more of a mix between genetic and food intake. Going off this map, you can see that. From 2011 to 2012, you can see that. Arkansas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa are places with a high diagnosis of ADHD in children 4 through 17. That's a number. By the way, this data was gathered from the United States, not Cameroon or Mongolia. What does ADHD feel like to you? Well, it feels very like I'm here, but not really. And I don't really remember a lot of recent things. That might be 2 things, but warning, ADHD might give a different feel or different effect. So don't sue me. Next question, please. What kind of coping skills, medication, behavioral changes do you think you could implement to help you with your academics in your life, or just your life in general? What? I don't get it. Well, I advise that you take your time to figure things out. Like, if you don't understand something, then you just, Next question, please. Well, I'm no hippopotamonstrossequelpedilophobus, but you have to figure out what your situation is and make something out of it. Or don't. I mean, I'm not, like, telling you to do what you want to do. So, I mean, if you want to, like, go together, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your courage. And I'll be expecting your vote when it comes time to vote now. Vote now for me at simonsmith@w.organization.com. And I'll be expecting your vote this November. Thank you. This is my signature and resignation for presidency. Thank you. Good night, Wisconsin.